What is up? It's teacher Mike here. Today I'm gonna teach you how you're going to improve your score on CELPIP on speaking task 7, which is the task where you have to give your opinion, and it's one of the hardest tasks for everybody because you have only 30 seconds to think and you have to speak for 90 seconds. And most people have a lot of trouble doing this task, and that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get started right away, but first don't forget our introduction. Hey everyone, Teacher Mike here. If you don't know me, I'm Teacher Mike, the founder and teacher at ExpressPrep.ca, where we help immigrants like you become residents in Canada by getting an awesome CELPIP score and of course by improving your English. Let's go straight into the video. So first things first, we're gonna open a task 7 here, and I'm gonna explain to you how task 7 works so that you have an idea even if you've never done it before. So task 7 of the official CELPIP test, it's exactly like this. By the way, this is our test simulator and every one of our students have access to this, but you can get it for free. There's a link in the description for 7 days free. So task 7 is always about expressing your opinions, and you have 30 seconds to think, right? And you can see the timer is already going down here, and you have 90 seconds to speak. So as soon as this timer hits 0, I have to start speaking. So the reality of task 7 is I have to read this in 30 seconds, and in 30 seconds, I have to think about what I'm gonna speak for 90 seconds. And that's why it makes this task to be so difficult to so many people, because most people cannot think about a complete argument in 90 seconds. So I'll teach you what you can do today that will help you be able to think about this in 30 seconds so that you can speak for 90 seconds. So first of all, let's start about the worst possible way that will never work. So the worst possible way that will never work is if you read this very slowly. Explain your reasons, and then now you start thinking, oh my god, what do you think about a 4-day work week? I think that this helps because and then you lost time. You should never start your argument thinking about the benefits or how it helps or how it works, because your brain is going to freeze. So I'm gonna help you understand how to solve the situation. You are going to learn something that is a point. So a good way to improve the speed in which you think is that when looking at an argument, you are going to do a yes or no in your mind, or you are going to do a this or that in your mind. So what is a yes or no or this or that? On CELPIP task 7, the questions are going to be either yes or no or this or that. So for example, in this case, should companies implement a 4-day work week? That's a yes or no question. Or some other tests are going to be like, or should they continue with the 5-day work week? That is a this or that. Is it better this, the 4-day work week, or is it better that? It doesn't matter the situation for you. In this case, it's a yes or no. You will have to do one of those two things. So if you have a yes or no, you have to do yes or no. If you have a this or that, you have to select your choice. So in the first 2 seconds where you read the question, immediately the first thing that comes to your mind has to be a yes or no or a this or that. So, okay, in this case, yes, I think a 4-day work week is the best. Okay, as soon as you have the yes on your mind, so as soon as you have the yes, you are going to come up with 3 very quick answers to your yes. So as soon as you say yes in your mind, the next thing that has to come in your mind is why. So yes, why? Well, because they're gonna be happier employees, they're going to hire more people, and they're going to save costs. Okay, that's great. Now, because you are able to do happier, hire more people, and save costs so quickly, the rest of the argument you can think as you are speaking. So the trick is that, well, a lot of people do wrong, and this is why our students, when they study with us, they get so many good scores, and before studying with us, they don't really get good scores. That the way people do it wrong is that when they are in this 30-second timer here, they think that they need to think about a complete argument in 30 seconds. That's not true. Actually, the only thing you have to do in 30 seconds here is to decide, make your choice. So yes, I think companies should implement a 4-day work week. Okay, yes. And then the next step is why? And then, well, because they're gonna have happier employers, because they're gonna hire more people, and because they're gonna save costs. Okay, good. So now when the timer is over, then you can start speaking. And now in this 90 seconds, you are going to speak using the 3 things you said in your mind. You're just gonna expand, right? So if your idea number 1 was happier employees, so just expand. So let me show you this. I'll do the first point so you can have a vision of how it would look like. So my editor is going to skip the timer here, and we're gonna go straight into the speaking. Check it out. Companies should definitely implement a 4-day work week. Well, first of all, because they are going to attract happier employees, and it's fairly well known that happier employees leads to better employee retention, which means a higher productive output of the company. Last company I worked in had a 6-day work week, and a lot of people, they either got fired or they gave up within a month. Perfect. So let's stop here. It took me 35 seconds to finish the introduction and the first point. That's perfect. Notice how all I had to do is I started with my point, which was happier employees, right? That's the first thing I said. Hey, I think there's just going to be happier. And then from happier, I come up with two more things. I said that there's going to be more employee retention, and then employers don't have to hire so many people because people don't quit so much. And I talked about the last company I worked in where people either got fired or gave up because it was a 6-day work week. Are any of these things true? Not really, but they make sense with my point, and they are possible enough that I can say it. So this is the trick for being able to have a perfect task 7 without thinking too much in the first 30 seconds. The only thing you have to think about in the first 30 seconds are 3 key points that are going to guide your speaking. After this, as soon as you start speaking, in the 90 seconds, all you have to do is you have to go with introduction, point 1, explain it, point 2, and explain it, point 3, explain it, and then a conclusion. Okay, I'm not gonna do this in this video, but now you know how it would work. I have 2 other videos where I do a complete speaking test, and you can actually check them out. I'm gonna put one up here, but I'm also gonna put the link of both of those in the descriptions if you wanna check it out. And this is how you are going to improve your speed of thinking in task 7, and you are, of course, immediately going to improve your score. So again, just to remind you, instead of trying to think of a complete argument in the first 30 seconds, just think about 3 points why your choice is the choice. Is it yes or no? 3 points why? Or is it this or that? 3 points why? If you're able to think about the 3 points, you're able to speak very quickly within the next 90 seconds. Again, if you want to watch a complete video of me doing this, you can actually watch it. I'm going to put it up here if it's not showing up already, and it's going to be in the description as well. If you don't want to be my student and you don't want to pay for my services, but at least you can do one thing for me, like and subscribe so more people can have an awesome CELPIP score just like you are going to have by watching these videos. Teacher Mike out. See you guys in the next video.